Good evening and welcome to tonight's council meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing I'll ask, is there any agenda changes?
None from staff this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll move on to public forum. If anybody's here wishing to address the council, now's the time. Please come to the podium, give your name and address and why you're here. Seeing no movement from the gallery, I'll close the public forum and ask for the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, after having reviewed the consent agenda as submitted, I would make a motion to approve it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Consent agenda stands as approved. We have no public hearing tonight. We do have one item under unfinished business, and that's a distressed property at 217 Main. Do you want to bring us into that, Ethan?
Sure, the land bank did approve a contract for sale of 217 Main to my Ashley Lynn. So we would recommend that we allow for the closing process on that transfer of ownership and say postpone that to the first meeting in December for a status update.
Gonna require a motion, council.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to proceed with the closing on the documents for 217 Main and also to have this come back before this body first meeting in December.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for staff to prepare the documents for the transfer of ownership for 217 Main for the first meeting in December. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That is done. Our first item under new business is an introduction to the new owner of the hospital properties. And Mr. Rollins is here. Mr. Rollins, step up to the podium and introduce yourself to Halstead and tell us whatever you'd like us to know.
Well, I'll tell you as much as good evening, good people, mayor and council members, and certainly the people that make up the city of Halstead, because it wouldn't be anything without you. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself to you today. My name is James Rollins, Sr. I say that because there is a junior, and he's a whole lot younger than I am, and he probably does things sometimes that I don't know if I'm always in favor of. So I make sure I tell everybody I'm the senior. But I represent Covenant Global Missions, Incorporated, and CBJR Enterprises, LLC, as their president and CEO. And I am extremely excited to explore and engage in this great opportunity to partner with the city of Halstead to bring new development that aligns with your community's goals, strengthening the local economy, creating quality jobs, and enhancing the quality of life for every one of the residents here. I have a team of people that are not here yet. They will be. I was just talking with a good newspaper man over here and letting him know that there is a team indeed in place. And our team believes that through collaboration and thoughtful planning and a shared vision, we can create a project that not only fits seamlessly within the city's character, but also position it for future growth and success. And I really look forward to discussing ways we can work together to make my vision for that Halstead Hospital property a reality. I've got several meetings this week, of course, all week long. I'm here all week, and many of my team members will be coming in, engineers, and many others will be here during the course of the week. So I kind of had to lead the way and make sure that I was here. And we'll be doing that all week long. You'll be seeing my face quite often as we move forward. And I will also, when we come, I will bring when I bring the team, we will be able to not just talk about it. I want you to be able to see the concepts and have an understanding of exactly what we plan to do with that whole property. I can tell you this much, that there are some plans for immediate development. I have a 1-3-5 plan. There's a short-term, things that will be done within the first year. And then there are things that will be done by year 3, and then the total completion by year 5. When I think about that property, when I looked at it, I know some people say for as long as it's been vacant, this guy must be crazy. You'll never know the difference because I have a lot of children. I have children and grandchildren, so I have all this gray hair. But what I can tell you is that when I look at it and the vision that I have, it's coming to fruition. And I look at it, and it'll take some work. But I can tell you right now, from when I first came, before, I can tell you this: it will not be a hospital again. And I had that conversation very candidly with the executives from the city here. That doesn't mean that it won't have some other very beneficial uses in terms of the medical sciences and how things will work there, but there are too many other hospitals already around, so there's no need for that anymore. But we are gonna bring a team that can show you exactly what we're looking at doing and how we're gonna do it. But I can tell you now, I'm really looking at working together with the city to make it happen.
Well, James, I've had the advantage of getting to know you the last few months, and I'm definitely excited about your plans. I'm going to give the council a chance to ask you any questions that they might want to ask at this time, realizing that James may not be able to divulge all of his plans.
Okay.
First of all, where are you from?
I am from Norfolk, Virginia. Okay, born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia. I've been living with my beautiful wife in New York, however, for about 34 years now. I live in Middletown, New York. That's about an hour north of Manhattan. I also pastor a church. And so I am the senior pastor and founder of the Tabernacle. And so on Sundays, you'll have a hard time getting a hold of me, okay, because I'm usually busy from around 10 to 12. And midweek, sometimes you won't be able to get me because I'll be teaching Bible study. But other than that, I'm born and raised in Virginia, and so lived in New York all that time with my wife, and I've got 3 grown children and 5 grandchildren that I absolutely adore.
Very good. We have a lot in common. Well, welcome here, and we're glad to have you here.
I feel welcome. I felt welcome when I came the first time. And I have to say, Ethan, thank you very much. I felt welcome when I came the first time when I was doing my due diligence. I felt welcome, and that's one of the reasons that when I thought about it and I prayed about it, and then I talked to partners and people who are part of the team. And, unless they can, I'm a firm believer in writing the vision and making it plain so that those that see it can run with it. And so that's going to be my goal from day one. It has been. And so when I shared it with the rest of the team, that's what they were able to say.
So your communication at this point is very refreshing.
Thanks, sir.
I've been sitting in town for 20 years, and that's about the most conversation we've had about the place since then.
No,
So
sir,
we appreciate it.
We're gonna share. We are gonna share what's going on.
Pastor,
Yes, sir.
how will your church react when you move?
Well, I will tell you this: I am a part of the Reformation, so I'm a bishop in the church, so I have a little more flexibility than perhaps some do, and I'm grooming those who are going to take the reins right now, as far as those who will stand up and preach on Sunday, and those who will carry out the work in the community as well. I am a firm believer in that, so when it comes to that.
Sounds like you've got a lot of irons in the fire, but you've got a lot of irons to help you too, so.
I've got a lot of irons to help me when I've got some people coming in on almost every day. And they're coming from different parts of the country with different levels of expertise in the areas that I need it most. And so, I'm a firm believer in staying in your lane. I'm pretty good at what I do, and it's definitely not everything. So I make sure that I surrounded myself with the kind of people who can help me carry out this vision in a way, that really not only makes sense, but when I looked at it, I kind of looked at the history of the Halstead Hospital, and what I see, it was a hub. It was a focal point in the community, and I'd like to see that again. And I believe there's a way to do that. I'm confident there's a way to do that, to where that property can be, an integral part of this community. I talked with engineers, and it costs just as much to tear it down as it does to repurpose it. Because it's a fort. It's like a fort. The amount of concrete and different things that is in there. I asked questions about whether or not it was still in Tornado Alley. I've asked the right kind of questions, and I've gotten the right answers. So looking forward to it.
What struck you about our community once you were here and started looking around a little bit, were familiarizing yourself with it? What stood out about our community to you?
The simplicity of the people. I went in the stores. I just stopped in the stores and then just driving by, and when I talked with Mayor Travis and I sat down, and I think I met with Dan and a couple of people, and after doing those things and looking at it, this is a community that could really enjoy it, it can get behind it. I think the community can make a good partner.
I moved here from Southern California about 33 years ago, and I'm still excited about it.
Wow.
It's still fresh to me.
And that's the thing that's refreshing to me. As you're talking, Mr. Torres, you've got a smile behind your smile.
Okay.
And what you just said about how you feel about this community, that resonates with me.
Hi, I'm Shauna. I grew up in this community from a small child. Oh my gosh. And my phone's ringing. I'm so sorry. I thought it was on silent. I was at a football game. So sorry. But what was the name of the company again that you said you're with, that you're affiliated with? Sorry, I didn't quite get all.
Covenant Global Missions Incorporated. That's a not-for-profit. We bought it in 3 different pieces. Covenant Global Missions Incorporated bought the hospital piece. CBJR Enterprises LLC purchased the rest of it. The
Okay,
apartment
sorry.
complex and the
The
non-town.
other, what was the other? Sorry.
CBJR Enterprises LLC bought the other pieces.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that, and thank you for what you shared. I think that while we are a simpler probably than, I don't know, I haven't been to, other than New York City, I haven't been to New York State much, so I don't know how we compare here in Kansas in regards to that. But I will say that we can be a tight-knit community as well, and when we have all of the information, I think that certainly helps get people on board.
Sure.
With a project, and when there is skepticism, some guards can tend to go up occasionally, and so I guess that would be my advice, I don't know much about, and I think there's many that are curious because obviously, you know, right now it's kind of an eyesore, and you're right, it used to be a very proud kind of beacon of our community growing up here through a really like booming time of the 90s. I think you're right. And now, over the course of the last, you know, few decades, it has been an eyesore and a hindrance a little bit on not only our community, but the economy within the community, and many dreaming and hoping and praying of something that would, but, so my only, I guess, is, you know, we can certainly be your biggest advocates and biggest fans, but if, you know, I think the right kind of facts and the right kind of information that people know what's going on certainly will help in that aspect, on your behalf, I guess. So would be my only, I think communication is key, and the more people know what's going on, then the more people can be on board, with some of those things, you know, and be in your corner versus, you know, putting up their guards at times.
Absolutely.
Because while we want something great, we also are really protective of our, you know, humble abode as well, you know. So I think you see both sides of that at times. So welcome, and thank you for sharing what you could with us.
Thank you. And you should be, you know. I like where I live in Middletown, New York. And I will tell you, when I say simplicity, I say that as a compliment because I've sat where you've sat. I've been on the city council for my city. And I serve on the volunteer boards, Children's Rights Society of Orange County, where I live. And I am on the board of directors for the Dispute Resolution Center, which is a mediation organization. And I've been on that board since 2007. And so I like the idea of being able to be a part of the change that's positive. And so I have absolutely no problem with the need for information as well as accountability. That's how we get there. That's how we're going to get there.
Well, I can certainly appreciate that. We all know I'm not one for dragging things out, so more you can get things going, the better. Just no, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
All right, James, as you know, I look forward to you and I getting to know each other better, and we're off to a great start, and I can't thank you enough for giving this community hope again for those properties.
Appreciate it, sir.
And we do look forward to your plans going forward, and thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Really do.
All right, next item under new business is the Main Street Sidewalk Project Update. I'm sure Ethan has something for us there.
Yeah, as you guys know, you set a project budget of $150,000. We did run into some unanticipated issues as with you do on any repair project. We were originally hopeful that we wouldn't have to address the gutter guards, you know, that exist at the Second and Main intersection, but it became obvious as we replaced that for the project to be done right, all that needed to be recast, re-poured, and then in the 200 block, we ran into some significant sub-level issues that we weren't anticipating in terms of some former lower level shops that had been done and kind of glossed over, and as we pulled it up, to do it right and make sure there was a good substructure under the sidewalk, needed to put flowable fill in that. So right now we've fallen short kind of the original scope that we gave you guys, which was hopefully going to address both parking areas, the one by Halstead Market and then the one by Halstead Chiropractic. We have not done the one by Halstead Chiropractic. We're sitting at about $143,000 now with everything that's been done. We anticipate we'd probably need about $20,000 if we do want to engage the rest of that work, which would be the parking area, sidewalk, and then the alley entranceway, very similar to what was done there on Second Street, if you want to do that. However, we're also kind of at a stopping point too, where if you want to stay within the budget that was originally set, then we can probably just pin the north side of Halstead Chiropractic in that parking area and that alleyway to a subsequent year. So Pat might be able to answer any other issues. I think I covered the main ones that kind of caught us off guard. We did have some stormwater boxes and things too that needed to be recast, and so we've done that.
Saw that, right.
Flowable fill is starting to become a dirty word for this council. Because we've ran into that before on some street repairs, guys. What was the original budget on that project, Ethan? Just
150.
150. 13.
And how much
So about
more
another
to finish it?
13,000 over budget is where we'd be. Approximately 13 to 14,000 if we continued north of,
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd be right around 165 barring any
14,000,
other
about 14.
issues.
And we don't know for certain that something else is gonna come up when you start to tear into that.
I don't think we anticipate anything.
No, because right now, everything has been accounted for except for the parking in the alley. And I don't really anticipate any extra costs there, because that's including the gutter and the sidewalk, so.
If we continue and just go ahead and get this done, we're like I said, we're looking about another 13 to 14,000 over budget. If you pull that, we gonna harm anything else that we may be looking at?
No.
Okay.
I think we need to finish it as we proposed, even if it takes more money to do it. I know the physical therapist there, Dr. Cook, is tired of having water come in his building.
Is that because of the road or the sidewalk? Or is that because there's like a hole in the drain spout on the side of the building?
Those are designed, and they're supposed to do that.
Well, the one outside of Brandon's office is missing and it just literally,
Cut it off, it's designed to come through the side of the wall.
oh, it's off a parapet roof.
Yeah, if not, it'd turn into a giant pool up there.
Well, my opinion, I think we should move forward and continue and finish the project up. It'd just be one more big thing off the table.
We're not talking a great deal to finish it off right. I'd say if we started it, we might as well finish it off. If it was a lot more sizable, I would be more concerned, but
If we're at 40,000, if, somewhere's like that, I'd say, yeah, let's hold off till next year, but we're only about 14,000.
and it's causing water to go in their building due to this?
I don't know of any sidewalk issues.
Sorry, I'm just going back to your comment that you said that there's
Oh, I
been
know
water
Glenn's
in
told,
their
I haven't
building,
seen
and if, like, is that because of this, or is it not because of this? Nobody knows, okay.
I know they.
I don't know, I feel like, I don't really, I guess that skews my, perception. Because if you're gonna make a comment that says that it's going into a business's building, but it's not, that feels like that is misinformation. So either I just wanna know whether it is or it's not, I guess. I don't want people to be like, oh, it's our sidewalk's fault that it's going into because of something that one of our council people said.
Hang on a second, Shauna. Joel, you have some information on that?
The gutters go through, so I cut that off because it was ice damming. So where the gutters go down and go through the sidewalk, they back up into the building. But yes, it is.
Because of our sidewalks,
Because
or
our
because of the building's roof?
It's not the
Is there not PVC drains put in under that sidewalk?
concrete with steel over it that's collapsed.
The other
So,
thing,
this repair would take care of that, Pat?
We are going to redesign, and the drains will be roughly the same, but we're lowering the parking lot. So the
what I was
drains
gonna
actually
say.
go out onto the parking lot instead of right into it. So it should allow more water to get away.
Well, I'm kind of the opinion of the majority of the council that we're this far along, and for that additional price, we should probably finish it especially if it's gonna help potentially correct this problem for them.
I like the thought of the parking lot being, or that parking space being more, I guess, friendly. I don't know how else to put it, because there's a lot of, in a given morning, there's a lot of people who use that, depending on how busy it is down there. And it seems to be pretty busy and pretty occupied when I go down there. It seems to be, so you're getting really two edge. If it improves the drainage, great. It's also improving the parking substantially, in my opinion. So, kind of like it did at the grocery store.
You have a guesstimate of how much is needed to do this?
I think if we just amend the project budget to 170, that should cover it from the original 150 that was authorized.
It feels like I don't know. It felt like more than,
So you need you weren't looking just for a consensus at this point, you also need a
Now,
motion.
if you need to amend the budget, then ask for that amended amount.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to revise the proposed budget for the sidewalk renovations to $170,000 to complete this project.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second to amend the budget for the Main Street Sidewalk project. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. All right, that passes. Next item on the agenda, oh, I love these. Hazard mitigation grant application. More of our tax dollars coming back to town, hopefully.
Yeah, we submitted a letter of intent under the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, which is money that's basically left after federally declared disasters that are going to be used for the public assistance or response. And the project we proposed this time, which is part of our mitigation actions, if you all remember approving that Region G mitigation plan last year, is to upsize and replace the backup generator that serves City Hall and the fire EMS building, and then also add 4 backup generators at each of the city's lift stations. Obviously, with the derecho, we saw the fun times that were had in keeping those manually operating when we were without power for 3+ days. So we are looking at natural gas potentially on the ones that are for the lift stations, because the mains are running very close and gives us just a steady fuel supply there. We would keep the one here at City Hall because that's also serves as our EOC, backup EOC operations as a diesel, but we found out with the load between the two buildings that it was too much when both buildings were trying to operate in those days and with the heat and stuff, so we're gonna upsize that. So it's usually a good indication when you get asked to go beyond the letter of intent stage. Right now, preliminary budget, and we'll get some refined numbers. There is a third-party contractor that the state has that helps with this now. But overall, looking at a $250,000 project, it's a 75-25 grant, so basically it would cover around $187,500, and the city's share would be $62,000 to $63,000, depending on that final cost.
Now, is that it? Refresh my memory, does that also include wastewater management facility?
No, the wastewater treatment plant, that will be taken care of as part of that whole project.
Okay,
Project.
the new one.
Yep.
Okay.
Pat, question for you. This generator out here, how many hours is on that thing?
I got it.
Under 1,000, I think.
Yeah, not that many. We got it on a grant.
Any place, oh, we did get that?
Yeah,
on-
we got that one on
I was gonna say,
a
is
'07.
there a place we
fire
could
grant.
repurpose that generator, you think?
Yep.
Like city maintenance? I was just thinking city maintenance would be a good place to move that one.
We could either set it up permanently there or maybe trailer mount it and make it portable in case we need it somewhere else.
That's a good thought.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
That one there, when we got it, we based it off of the fire station was where we're setting
Yeah.
at that time. So that's why the capacity of it was a little under what'll do both buildings. You're all right if you're not running air conditioners, but if it's air conditioning season, it ain't running it.
Well, and we ran City Hall for, what, 3 days during that duration?
Yep.
So, what do you need from the council on that tonight, Ethan? A consensus or a formal motion? Or?
Yeah, just a consensus, I guess, of acknowledging that you understand the match, because when we come back with it, you'll have to certify that you do have those matching funds.
Well, and adding those generators where it's only costing us 25% of the project, I mean, that's smart to me. So, council, you good with this?
Good.
Absolutely.
I believe you have your consensus, Ethan. All right, and you have on here you'd like to set a city council work session. Any particular agenda for that?
No, there needs to be some, conversations, that, I mean, I don't know that we'll address everything in one work session, but some of it's just kind of talking about, some capital building needs that have come forward, like with the library, and kind of our relationship there. And then also we need to start having, preliminary discussions, as well. We're at the 2-year mark, and those Cedar Meadows temporary notes are gonna become callable, come December, so kind of talking what you all would like to do there, because anytime after they're callable, we can actually start to transition those to bonds and, start the certifying the special assessment costs and all that. So those would probably be the 2 main things.
I'd like to revisit snow routes.
And snow routes, 100%.
When would you like to do this, Ethan?
I would say to throw us out a holiday, like probably first couple of weeks of November, as might work for everyone's schedule.
I can make my schedule work, council, so it's gonna be up to you guys when you can get here.
I'm teaching on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it would about have to be a Wednesday, if at all possible. In my,
I'm free most any night.
We did it before, yeah, I think any time for me, so.
the 5th or the 12th works for me. I don't have
Fifth,
anything.
12th, 5th or 12th is good for me.
Okay, I'm good with let's, 12th, want to do the 12th?
Sure.
6?
6 o'clock on the 12th.
All it takes is a motion to make that happen.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to set work session for the 12th of November, 6 PM in the evening for our work session.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to set a city council work session for November 12th, at 6 PM. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Your work session is set, Mr. City Manager. We have no executive session tonight, so we'll move straight into the report section. And we'll start with governing body comments, and tonight I'll start with you, Shauna.
Thanks. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out to our city council session. It wasn't really a session, I guess it was a forum this week. It was fun to see all of the city council running mates out and all of the community members out with their questions and thoughts. And I appreciate the local community for their support. I also appreciate the local church for opening up their doors and doing the live stream for us. That was really a nice thing to do for the community. So I thank the community for that and Life Church for that. I also want to shout out to our football, volleyball, cross country teams, as well as our choral department. I'm sure I'm leaving someone out because every time I start name dropping, I leave someone out. But they're wrapping up their fall sports seasons, and I'm always a huge fan and supporter of our kids and all the things that they do, and all of our awesome educators and teachers that are out there supporting and making those things happen for our kids. So I just couldn't be prouder of our student athletes, and that includes all of the music and the forensics teams, I think. Is it forensics right now? Debate, dang it. Sorry, debate. Anyways, keep up the great work. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for making Halstead so proud. So thank you all so much.
George,
I have nothing, sir.
Charlie.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I know you'd have something.
you bet. It was a lot of fun. Chief wasn't there, but a lot of, some other people were. Last week, Brenda Vermilion's preschool kids entertained the fire, police, and ambulance people in front of the middle school, and they just thoroughly enjoyed themselves. The kids as well as the presenters. It's a really cool thing to do. Another item that came up is, and I went to some vendors on Main Street. And I asked them, had anyone had ever done a follow-up after we have had a street closure for whatever event? Did they come by and ask, how did it go? Did you have a drop in business? Was it an increase in business or foot traffic? Or was it basically inconsequential? I'd like to see that as part of a system where when people initially ask them whether or not they agree or disagree to have the street closed, that there's some kind of a follow-up mechanism to go back and find out how it impacted their business.
We could make that part of that street closure request, right?
I think it'd be a good idea. And the street people not the street people, but the vendors downtown, they thanked me for asking because they'd never been asked before. They aren't street people. We don't have a lot of street people in Halstead. Sorry about that. But, yeah, and they know in some circumstances that they're gonna have to be closed that day or part of that day. So obviously it's gonna impact their business. And I think our hope is that these events help boost their business. Well, if you don't ask, you don't know.
True.
So I think we need to ask if it's boosting their business or if it's not, or if it's impeding their business. Sorry to hear Dr. Decker died. Some of you in town, I know, knew Dawn. I've known Dawn since I was in high school. I'll put it that way. So that was a long time ago.
A day or two.
That's
anyway.
55 years plus, okay? Okay, another death you may not know about, you may not even know the person. But the old hardware store on Main Street was Woodworth's Hardware. Gilbert Woodworth owned that business. His son, John Gilbert, was a Halstead High School graduate and a long time ago, passed away this last summer. He was inducted into the Halstead Hall of Fame 2-3 years ago, and he was here for that. And he's my age. I just hate to see that happen. But at my age, you get to send more condolences letters than you do happy birthdays, unfortunately, but that's what it is. Vote. Next week, vote. That's it.
Jim,
I got a couple quick things here. One, I was at my wife and I go to a lot of the Wichita State stuff. And yesterday we got to watch the Halstead choir sing the national anthem at the volleyball game, and they were outstanding. So big shout out to Claire and that group. Enjoyed it. Also, the young ladies that were in here for the FFA, I'm a big supporter of HAG and FFA stuff. And remind everybody that the turkey trot is November 29th, Saturday. Give you a chance to work off all of that pumpkin pie and whatever. So make sure you support that. If you're not running, I'm sure they'll take donations. So please attend that. That's it.
okay, back to me. Well, I did have the opportunity to do one of the fun things I get to do, and that's during Brick Street's Arts and Crafts Fair. I always get to go around, or the mayor gets to go around and pick a mayor's choice. And all these photos and everything you see hanging around City Hall, they're results of that over the years. I'm not sure how many years that's been going on, probably ever since the inception of Brick Streets, correct?
Long time.
And part of it is there's so many things hanging around City Hall. I think it's time to branch out into the other city buildings, so. I selected something this year that I hope will go into the fire station. And I've made Andy Lowe promise me that he's not gonna unbolt this real hatchet and, run around the fire station with it, but this is what I picked. The couple that, built this was out of Bushton, Kansas, and I don't remember their names. Julie, do you have them?
I don't off the top of my
So-
head.
Hopefully, one of these days, this will be hanging in our fire station.
I think we posted.
That's about all I have, so I'll move on to Ethan for the, city manager's report.
Two updates tonight for longstanding city projects. First is that the Safe Routes to School Phase One improvements did go out to bid with KDOT on October 22nd. The project received 4 total bids, and the low bid was PSE Contractors at a price of $528,628. We are awaiting our further instructions from KDOT following that bid letting process, but look forward to meeting with the contractors and getting some firm dates on construction to be able to share with the community on that project. Also very exciting was that the project came in right around budget expectations, which was extremely good news as this project had been delayed almost a year from its original bid date as we worked out some of those easement issues, and the fact it still came in fairly close to budget was some welcome news. The sidewalk construction project on the south side of Sixth Street will have its bid opening this Wednesday here at City Hall. Lochner has had several inquiries and is hopeful the city will receive multiple bids for that project as well. That project was part of the city's Pathways grants from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas, and will see a sidewalk constructed from Cedar Drive west to the Halstead Housing Authority. Repairs and replacement of the broken panels on South Main Street and Stutzman Street should be taking place the next couple of days and next week for the panels that experienced issues that were not able to be corrected through crack sealing. Boats Park is doing this work as part of their guarantee on that 2023 project. And traffic on those roads will be slightly affected in that area while repairs are ongoing. As mentioned previously with the work session, the Cedar Meadows temporary notes are also approaching their first callable date on December 1st. So we look forward to discussing how you all would like to handle that going forward. Staff are finishing up work on the seed grant application in conjunction with the Halstead Senior Center. We'll get that submitted tomorrow. And then we also provided a letter of support for the Halstead Historical Society's seed grant application as well. Staff have finished up interviews for the park's maintenance position and should be extending a conditional offer of employment to a candidate in the coming days. Melissa Farlow has also joined the City of Halstead team as the part-time police court clerk, and so we want to welcome her. And the city continues advertising and recruiting for a full-time police officer position that is currently vacant. Deputy Clerk Connell is currently attending year 3 of the City Clerk and Municipal Finance Officers Association of Kansas Clerks Institute in Wichita. Year 3 is an intense year due to the capstone project that attendees are required to participate in, and we look forward to Bree coming back with greater knowledge of municipal laws and operations at the end of the week. I did want to acknowledge Halstead Fire EMS for their Fire Week activities around the community, which were well received and we got positive feedback from, and for the excellent and passing visit they had received from the State Board of EMS recently. And then also remind everyone that the Flapjacks at the Firehouse event is this Saturday morning, and invite everyone to come enjoy some great breakfast and maybe even enter the raffle for some great prizes. Halloween Howl is also this Friday evening, and all city departments will be assisting. And the city will be passing out safety glow necklaces for the attendees, as well as providing free hot dogs until we are out. I just want to thank our other local businesses, Champs Meats and the Halstead Market, for supporting that. And then governing body members are free to come and help if your schedule allows. A big thank you to the Chamber of Commerce and the volunteers who are behind the scenes making that event happen. And I know it's been great to see the windows get decorated downtown, and look forward to the new ideas such as the decorated golf cart parade, and then the returning favorites like the costume and pumpkin contests. And anyone looking for information about Halloween Howl on Friday, please either check out the city's Facebook page or the Halstead Chamber of Commerce's Facebook page, as they have details about the event and the timing on those 2 pages. And then finally, just want to extend our best wishes and congratulations to Deputy Clerk Washaw and her family on their newest addition and arrival. So that is all I have this evening, unless there's any specific questions.
Council, any questions of Ethan? Well, Julie helped me out. That was the Oberle family of Bushton, Kansas that built the axe on the wood up here that I selected for the Brick Streets Arts and Crafts Mayor's Choice. And it looks like his name is Roy, and evidently we wrote the check to him. Hopefully he gives his wife some credit for that as well. We have finished up our business for this evening. I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And before I adjourn, go Chiefs. We are adjourned.